Everybody, welcome back into Roosters. It is a fun, casual joint. We are in the Horseshoe Lounge in the back. It's a beautiful day in Columbus, Ohio.
Beautiful.
And a great day to talk about whatever comes into our mind. We're still 2 weeks away from the start of spring ball. So we're going to wing it.
Bobby was so kind to join us this week.
I know. It was nice to have the old general back.
I was actually here yesterday, Nicole.
Oh,
So
took our
thank you
basketball.
for that.
Well, we do our podcast on Monday, Bobby's. You're
Justin
here a
Zwick
day
has
early.
been here. Nicole Cox has been
Yes.
here. Bobby's been
Holding it
traveling
down.
the world.
Listen,
Bobby Carpenter is back.
My travel schedule I left on Monday. I got back. on
Gosh,
Monday.
something came up. I got to fly across the world.
And it was
Private jets.
not private jet.
Limousine ride.
Limousine.
Not Ric Flair.
Wheeling, dealing,
Woo!
jet stealing.
Not Ric Flair. It was not Ric Flair.
Oh, okay.
It was commercial flying all the way to Hawaii. And on the leg out, stopped in Phoenix. On the way back, stopped in LAX, then Chicago. On the way out, that flight from Phoenix there.
Terrible.
From here to Phoenix, that's like 3 and change. Phoenix there was 6 hours and 15 minutes. I read like a third of a book, took a nap, woke up, and it still was 4 hours. I'm like,
Hey, good thing you weren't sitting next to me. That'd be rough.
Anxiety bag over here.
It was a long way to fly to run some sprints on the beach, Bob.
I read an entire book on the way there and watched entire Lord of the Rings Return of the King extended edition, which is like 3 hours and 40 minutes. So, I mean, I had 2 of those planned up just in case.
Just in case.
And I had like 3 books. The good news was on the way back, I took a red eye because the Super Bowl there kicks off at like 1:15. So we were done at 6. We did camps out there at all the bases, Wheelard, Schofield, and Pearl Harbor. And so we did camps for all the bases, did like some meet and greets. And the last day was like, they split us all up and we went to the bases to their like sports bar, like the hard deck basically from Top Gun.
Hey.
But went there.
Is that how they drought you out? You're gonna be in.
Did you get on the piano?
I did not play on the piano. I didn't have one there. But
That would have been so cool
we
to
sat
know.
there and watched the game. There's a ton of Buckeyes out there. I mean, the guy who is the captain of the second newest destroyer in the Navy, he was like, came up, his kids all Ohio State jerseys. I was like, oh, yeah. He was like, I wish I would have known you were going to be here for the camp. I didn't know. He's like, would I just have stuff to sign? I'm like, hey, here's my number. Here's my address. Like, send some stuff out. I'll sign it for you and your kids. You had 4 kids. Awesome, dude. Captain David Hale. And he's like, if you want to, I can get you guys a tour through my ship over there. This is before he told me like what he did. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that one, he's the second newest destroyer in the Navy. He's like, it's awesome. And I'm like, all right, we'll see. We got a pretty booked schedule. I was like, if you don't mind me being presumptuous, like what exactly is your like affiliation? Like what is your role on the ship? I don't know. I didn't want to.
For sure.
He's like, I'm actually the captain. I'm like, oh, okay. So when you say my ship, I mean, my is a possessive term, and that is, it's owned by the U.S. taxpayers, but you are the shepherd of this ship right now. So it was pretty cool. But Buckeyes everywhere out there. I mean, from Canton, Lebanon, Cleveland. I mean, all over the place. And
I got to go out there after my senior year for the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
And the alumni group was amazing. I think we had 8 guys from that team go out.
Yeah.
I mean, they drove us around. I mean, took us on tours of the island. I mean, it's big time. They were telling us about how they have to wake up so early to watch the noon games. I mean, it's insane what they go through.
Super Bowl kicked off at
1 o'clock.
6:30. It was like
nuts.
1:30.
Yeah.
And so I asked him, like, gosh, I was supposed to leave at 6 a.m. on Monday, and I wouldn't have got back till like 12:30. I'm like, you know what? I mean, can I get a red eye? Like, I can get out, right? And he's like, yeah. So red-eyed it in, and with the Marines, a lot of them, they wanted to engage in libations. There's a lot of Eagles fans, Chiefs, and so they were all about the shot skis and partying. So I'm like, I'm fine. I'm like, dude, I'm going after this. They're driving to the hotel. I'm going to have dinner. I'm getting on an airplane, and I'm just going to keep that party rolling until I fall asleep. And that's what I did. And then I got on the plane, and the lady, the flight attendant, was so nice. She's like, you know, like the seats kind of curl around you. I paid to get upgraded. I'm like, I need this first leg.
I would too.
Because I need this. It was like $190. And I sat there, and she's like, you fell asleep before we even took off. She's like, so I
There's another name for that.
I curled the head thing around you so you could like lean into it and sleep. And then I slept the whole flight from LAX to Chicago too. And then we
That's
got to
the best.
And so like, it was like a time travel. Like on the way back, my legs
woke up in another dimension.
My watch was like shaking, like you need to move. Are you alive? Like I don't know if it's picking up pulse. It may have been so low. But it was pretty tremendous. But it was a good time out there, seeing the troops, watching the Super Bowl, and you get a chance to support them. They're what they do, and like they're stationed in Hawaii, which sounds pretty awesome. But if you're from the East Coast, like you don't really get to see your family for the years you're stationed out there. You don't really get to go home that often. you're literally there. It's for the love of the game. Like you're waking up to watch Buckeye games and NFL games at like 7, 6. And when we're in daylight savings time, it's 6 hours. Like it's wild.
Insane.
So they're great. It was awesome. And so it was Monday to Monday. So that's why I had to miss the 2 shows.
Well, sounds like you were back on Monday. No.
I got back on Monday. I got back Monday. I was supposed to get back at 6:30. We got delayed in Chicago. I had to get off the plane, get a new plane.
Didn't want to risk it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, at least they give you a new plane. That's
Well,
always tough.
It
when they're
was a whole plane of people. It's just like displaced. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to try to get you a new plane. They said, yeah, we're going to get you on another one. We go. And then we get out. Like, we're going to try to find, like, hold on. Before it was, we're going to get
try,
you one.
Only do.
Yes. Yes. And
at least they didn't send you on the same plane that
I
was
would,
having issues.
listen, Nicole, here's the difference between you. People always say travel safe. I'm like, I'm willing to give up a moderate level of safety for more consistent timing. All right.
I am
is
not.
the engine light on? Okay. Do you feel good about flying it? Yeah. Okay. Then we're good.
No,
You do this all the time.
absolutely not.
Nicole,
No.
at least you have a sweet obit and you'll like be on CNN.
That
They'll
is
put your
true.
face up. Like, would you rather die at old age in your bed or would you rather go down in a fiery crash, like in a sweet deal? Like, at least then your family will probably get money from the airlines, so it'll be a good thing. And it'll be instantaneous.
I could see
The
that.
question I was going to
See
ask you
that.
today is a lot easier than this one, but now we've
Instant.
Now we're
Instant.
now we're in it.
Yeah.
Casual
How about I
joint.
think on that
Yeah.
since I'm getting on a plane next week?
This is how.
Oh,
Bobby,
goodness.
This is how.
I'm
Bobby
already
was
getting
trained.
anxious. I mean, literally, I'm having chest pains right now.
Already? That's how Bob and Jay-Z have been training for the cruise, like in the Roosters Foundation, about to give a bunch of money. How
We're
have you been
excited.
preparing?
Well, I've been doing the same thing. I'm starving. I've been working out every day.
Well, they put
but
the buffalo chicken
Looking
pizza
good
right
never
in front of
feels.
No.
Looking good never.
As I
tastes
just
good.
housed a mozzarella stick. Was I supposed to be doing that?
I was out
don't
there
care.
and I'm like, I had to do what you were doing out there when everyone else was just
yeah,
indulging in everything. I'm like, man, I would really love to have some of that really delicious looking Hawaiian food, but
Just
I'm gonna have this salad right here.
Just throw a
instead.
shirt on. That's all you got to do.
No.
I will be wearing. Yes, there. Yep. I've rearranged the wardrobe, but in all seriousness, I'm super excited. It's going to be really neat. It's a totally different cruise this year. We're going new places. I think it's going to be very, very special and really everyone focused on the cause, which is great.
How about that? We got Tress on there,
I know.
Ryan Day on there. I mean, former coach, current coach, and current players that are going to be on there.
Yes.
The 3 amigos, and then also Emeka Ibuka. So Tommy,
Are they
Kate,
coming the
and
whole
Steele.
time?
Just the back half.
Back half, nice.
But and I'm like, told those guys, like, you guys own roommates because now it's all you can do all this stuff, and they can go there, raise some money, and it'll be great. And I'm like, yeah, so you can take care of things. Before, even if you were going to raise money, you were prohibited of doing that from the NCAA. So they want to be a part of it, and it's a great.
Can't be
cause.
involved in charitable
No
efforts, Bob.
So they're going, and I'm like, I actually stopped over at Tommy and those guys' house on Saturday. A little grilled some meat, smoked some meat and stuff, and so hung out. Popped over there with my kids and let them run around and play with their dogs. But I was like, dude, Kate, you should bring a girlfriend. She's like, oh, I'm going. I'm like, that sounds even better.
Yeah, why,
I'm like,
why wouldn't they?
like going having a good time, and I'm like, man, this is great. Like it's a great deal. You guys will be able to come, have a good time.
They'll
and
fall in love with it.
that's what I told
Oh,
them. I'm like,
100%.
you'll be great, and like it's not a big deal. Like Tommy and Mecca, they're both like half man anyway with their one arm, and you know, Caden, Steele. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, Schlegs and I will train you on the boat, so we'll be good.
I would very much like to watch that experience.
Oh, it'll be
Schlegs.
great. We can get some videos. We'll shoot some vids.
Okay, that'll be perfect coverage for the podcast. Brim and I were lucky enough and blessed enough to go last year. We're going to be living vicariously through you. Also, just send all those videos if you can find working internet, which you shouldn't. I mean, you should just disconnect. That's what
It is
doesn't want
nice.
any-
I
once you get
I know.
on the boat, then Nicole's no longer stressed.
Correct.
you don't
Just when you
know.
open that inbox when you get home. you're
How
like,
great
"Oh."
is it though, Nicole, to like live in a time where you didn't know what you were missing.
Right.
So it's really nice. Ignorance is truly bliss.
Mhm.
Like I'm not even going to worry about churning. Okay, just you stay in here, phone.
Yep.
And I'll do some stuff at the end of the night and worry. But during the day, man, all I need is this little card, and it's going to do everything
Exactly.
I needed to get done.
Exactly.
One
Perfect.
card and one glass.
Maybe
Well
two
said.
glasses.
Maybe
card
2
in the
glasses,
pocket.
yeah.
I even brought a thing
Maybe.
to hold my glass.
I
So,
think Garth Brooks
yeah,
talked about
just more
that.
hands.
Oh,
Hey,
Two
more
pina
hands.
coladas, one for each hand.
Yes.
I really wanted that.
That was a song once. I think Bruce Springsteen.
Covered
Bruce?
Bruce?
Okay,
Is
yeah.
that Bruce?
I think Nelson wrote it.
Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson.
Love and affection.
Yeah.
So,
Wow, that was pre-show warm-up.
Yes, that
Nelson.
was. Yes. inside joke. I'd love to be a part of one
Bobby's
day.
favorite band.
I do enjoy something else. A lot of juice in that. I could
Look them up.
I could work
you haven't
out
seen
to
them.
that. Been running, trying to stay in
You
shape.
seriously run to that?
Yeah.
We used to work out. We used to work out to a lot of weird things.
Oh,
so I
did you
will
work
say
out
that
to
in
80s
college,
music?
Yeah.
100%.
But a lot of 80s. But James
Michael Jackson
James-
was big.
Seriously?
The workout.
Oh,
music?
yeah.
In the weight room.
Man in the Mirror.
No, that wasn't even the worst one. The guitar guy.
Yeah.
And all the girls.
Gavin
liked.
DeGraw.
No.
Gavin DeGraw.
It was
James Blunt. No.
James Blunt. I
James
think.
Blunt.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah,
AJ
we
loved it.
used
I
to
was
rock
working out to
that
I
hardcore.
just can't do 80s for some
What?
reason. I know.
Yeah. No, MJ was a big one in the
I don't
weight
know if
room
we're
back in the
friends
day.
anymore.
Put on some MJ. Let's
Let's go get after.
get juice.
Slate's called it his Oreo mix. He goes, I got things in here that everybody likes. No matter of your ethnicity. We're going to really bring it in.
Okay.
That's good. All right. Well, how about some modicum of Ohio State football talk? The only thing they did last week really was cancel the Washington series.
Hey.
So first of all, I think there's pretty clear signals about what that means.
Washington joined the Big Ten.
Well, I don't know if that's the signal. That's a less clear. That's a subtle down the road
I don't think that's
potential.
happening.
I don't think it probably will. It certainly wasn't the reason that Ohio State canceled that series. I would bet so much money that Ohio State's going to play at USC in 2024. They don't want to go out there twice in 1 year. Were any of you looking forward to going to Seattle?
Well,
No.
I think but that's a good game earlier in the year. And when they canceled both of it, because the next year they have Texas on the schedule, so you'd have Washington and Texas, and
plus probably UCLA.
plus probably UCLA. I mean, but I'm all about playing better teams. I don't need to watch Ohio State play Eastern Michigan. Okay, if you're going to play a team in the MAC, at least play an Ohio team from the MAC. But I want to watch more good games. Like my season tickets this year, they have 6 home games, and I'm looking at it like Penn State circled 3 times.
This is a weird year, though.
It is,
We
'cause we had
a great
up
year.
last
Yeah, I mean,
year.
We did. We had
You know what
8.
I mean? And I feel like they need to take that into consideration because that affects, not to bring it to me, but when you're doing
corporate partnerships.
Bring it on
charitable,
back.
charitable events and corporate partnerships, we auction a lot of those games to raise money. And this year,
It one less.
it's like 2 less. We don't have Michigan or Notre Dame. And the games that are going to be here aren't as exciting,
So I'm
I
saying
guess.
this year.
You just,
they're
I think
definitely
that
not.
needs to be taken
Yeah,
into
you can go ahead and say
consideration.
that.
Say it.
And
Yeah.
we're less a game too.
Yeah.
So that also takes away 100,000 tickets that are allocated to all the different partners that they give to their team members or
It's a
things
whole
like that.
day, Nicole.
I
You
know.
think about what that does for the city of
Our food
Columbus,
truck.
the economic
Yeah.
impact, all of
Yeah,
those
the
things.
hotels, the bars, everything.
The $1 million days.
This
that they
year
talk
should have
about.
been
Yeah.
Notre Dame, Michigan, Iowa, Wisconsin. It should have been the greatest home season they've had in a while.
Or let's
And Iowa,
spread it
Wisconsin
out.
were terrible. Yeah, or we can spread it
Let's
out.
spread it out.
And so that's the problem. You try to match, Gene, they try to match it up usually. This year you got Penn State. Hopefully Michigan State's good. But
They won't be.
I know. Probably not. Probably not to what they should be. But it's frustrating because I'm looking at that and it's like, all right, 2024, I'm all about playing more good teams because I think especially when they expand the playoffs.
Well, that's the big thing, right? I mean, that allows teams like Ohio State to say, let's go schedule some awesome games because if we lose, we're still going to be in the top 8 or top 12 or whatever it is, at
If
the
you
end of
lose
the year.
one, I don't think they'll be overly punitive. I think that's
I,
improvement.
th-
They
I
got
think
it
I
this
think that
year.
committee likes watching those games. Or like seeing those two teams go out and go against each other, and they don't penalize them as bad as if you're going to play somebody in your conference or a smaller school and losing to them, like an App State.
The problem is that we can all say that it should encourage you to play better teams and better competition.
Yeah.
And up until now, however, the selection committee has still only looked at that number on the far right.
You can say that, but Ohio State got in this year.
Did get in, yeah.
And a couple of times they did, but the number was still smaller.
It was small. One, I'm not saying you can lose multiple, but I think if you're Ohio State and you schedule tough, I think you will
Schedule
always,
a tough non-conference
one
game.
loss, you'll always be a top 8 team.
Yeah.
Unless you're just really looking bad. I mean, I don't know, and have injuries or something. But
Well, that's I think what people wanted was once you got to the expanded playoff field, well, there's no downside then. It doesn't affect your conference title race if you're playing Washington at this point. So, schedule the games, play them. You still have a clear pathway to get in. Ohio State's not going to fall out of the top 12. If they do, something went seriously wrong. So let's see the best teams play each other. So a lot of people were disappointed that Ohio State pulled the plug that they're going to pay $500,000 to not play this
I mean,
game.
to pay that is, I don't like hearing us paying that much money
Well,
for something like
well,
that
we're gonna
anyway.
make-
But
They're bringing you a
Right.
home game, Nicole.
right, I do like that. I like that. And you're right.
100,000 times 80 is 8 million. So, I mean, that's that right
Pump
there.
those numbers up.
It definitely is worth it. But I do think that you know how I feel about taking into consideration. I'm all about the mental aspect. I think going out west, and when Tyvis was on the show talking about the same thing, travel time, jet lag, time change, atmosphere change out there. I mean, it's a real thing that we have to take into consideration. I think doing too many games out west, it's just a disadvantage, you know?
It is. And even in the NFL, you usually go west one time, maybe twice a year, but that's over 16 weeks. And as you get older, you're just more mature. You're more apt to handle that stuff. Like, people told me I'd never be able to, like, practice and do that stuff after having a kid and being up all night and different things like that. It's just, you just learn to deal with it. I mean, everybody, as you get older. And these guys, they're physically capable, but it's just the mental aspect. Like you said, Nicole, getting out there and you're waking up and you're like, what's going on? Why is it so light? Why am I tired? Why should I?
Or practicing right after you get off the plane. I mean, those things definitely affect the body. There are only so many things you can do to the human body, you know? And so I don't know. I think it was a wise decision, and because we get another home game.
I like that.
That is the purpose. So let's set all of that aside, and let's build an Ohio State schedule. Who should be on it? Where would you like to see the Buckeyes go? We know that 8 home games is the target. Let's set all that aside. Let's just presume that they still wanted one more trip somewhere, one more opponent. Doesn't have to be the specific 2024 schedule. Nicole, where do you want to see Ohio State play, and who do you want to see them play against?
UNLV, just because I like Las Vegas. I think it'd be a fun place to go, and I think the promotions and advertising and entertainment perspective,
That'd be a road trip that people wanted.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Got a new stadium out. I want to do
Reds.
Alabama in Vegas.
Oh,
You like to go on the
Ooh,
road.
that's great.
Because you get in their new stadium.
Yeah.
Because that new stadium looks amazing.
It is. I've
I've been by it. I haven't been in it. It looks awesome. And Bama does that, right? And they play these games in Jerry's
so
house.
Bama's trying to get out of that stuff.
Well, yeah, but they've done it. I would like to see that. And the only chance we really get to Bama is either in the playoff. Now, granted, we'll have more of an opportunity nowadays.
Well,
Well,
see,
once it
scheduled
expands,
They
anyways.
have scheduled a home and home with Alabama.
But that's a long way down the road, isn't it?
I wouldn't mind. I don't like neutral site games typically. I would like the Vegas neutral site game.
Okay.
I could get behind that. I don't care who the opponent is. You pick
Well,
especially,
fair, yeah.
especially an SEC team because they always want to play, stuff down in Atlanta and whatever. Like, no, go out
Yeah.
west, play it there. I think that's great, and it's Vegas is superior to Phoenix as far as entertainment and what to do. You could wrap a whole 4-day, 5-day trip around
Absolutely.
it. You have the game as the
I
crescendo.
think 4 days is good.
Yeah,
4
get out
days is good.
Thursday.
4 days is a lot, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That's about the max you want in Vegas.
I know.
That's what I was thinking.
I did 5 last year, and it about killed me.
We are different.
I was
You're a specimen,
I was
Bob.
dying.
Built different.
I was my
Built
my
different.
medical pack
Built
was low.
tough.
I was just, need to recharge. I need to get to home tree like the avatars and plug in.
Call on
bad.
Affinity. I need another box. Send it out
Yeah.
to Vegas.
Yeah.
I love them playing the traditional blue bloods. Like now that you're going to get UCLA and USC in, really the only other West Coast teams I would like to probably see is maybe in Oregon. I like a Washington in there, Texas, Oklahoma, Bama, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida.
Oklahoma was good, except when we went there were tornadoes.
Yeah.
Literally tornadoes happening during the game, and you're in
They
the
have to
middle
live with it. So they,
of a field, but we don't have to live with it. So
That's
that
their
was
life.
a little scary.
I
A
know.
little scary.
You know what would be a good one? Tennessee.
that's what I said. Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean you could do home and home with them
That's a
because you got
proximity.
a nice stadium there. You got a nice stadium here.
It's a drivable game. Like,
Drivable.
I think that would be great.
They're on the. It appears they're on the
Uptick.
rise.
Yeah, I mean, but that would be and Austin's very familiar with Tennessee.
They're very.
Loved his time down there.
You'll know a tour guide.
Yes.
So,
Tell us
but
all the
but
hot
like
spots.
that's a game. That's a game that's a 5.5 hour drive. Like that makes a lot of sense. Proximity wise, like you could.
They don't play. I mean, when was the last time? What, the 90s, late 90s?
97.
Yeah, right?
98
Yeah,
or whatever it
96,
was.
97, 98
Yeah.
in that range.
The
So, I mean, yeah,
Citrus
it's
Bowl.
not something that happens a lot. I think that'd be a cool one.
Yeah, but that's about it. I mean, maybe a Florida State I could get behind. They seem to be doing better. I mean, the ACC, Florida State. If Louisville could ever get their crap back together, I wouldn't mind playing that.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on that.
Yeah, I'm not really counting that, but that's one that's a drivable. It's a cool city, especially early.
And we
in
have
the
a Roosters there. That would be really cool.
Yeah, okay, we could do a live show from
That'd
there.
be fun.
The furthest southernmost Roosters location?
Would
Is
be Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Bowling Green, Kentucky.
that Bowling Green?
Bowling Green. But that's, I mean, those. I think those are good. All good ideas right there.
The neutral site, quote unquote, for the TCU trip down in Fort Worth or at Jerry World was a pretty fun trip.
Yeah, because
it
that's
made me
Yes.
it made me think, especially because like
That was
if
a
you're
lot of fun.
concerned about playing at home, and then a network offers you $5 million or something to go play a neutral site game. All right, well that makes some good sense.
Yeah.
As long as you have time to plan for it, and Nicole can put together a
Trip.
giveaway trip
trip.
to go
That's
to
right.
week 0 in,
That
in Las
would be
Vegas.
fun for us to add
That-
into our Buckeye Bowl trip giveaway because when the bowl trips change, we are gonna change up the bowl trip giveaway.
Oh.
So we need some
What?
new
Are we dropping-
things.
What?
Are we driving some breaking news?
Yes.
Gosh.
so. But that's Dallas. Like it's a great
Yeah.
city to go
Yeah.
to. And TCU's close, but they weren't going to sell their whole allotment. And there's a lot of Buckeyes that live down in the North Texas area, and so that checks, and then Houston as well. So that checks a lot of boxes.
And I think that Las Vegas also has something going for it, which is that a field with turf that actually like works for
Well-
playing football games. So you don't want to necessarily
It's not nicer.
go back to
Mark
Glendale.
Davis is a turf science expert.
Well,
I don't know if you know that. You can tell that
Makes
by
sense.
how he gets his hair groomed.
He knows-
100%. Yeah.
Yes.
he
Let's
knows
talk about
all the
this.
different strands.
Mm.
What do we have here,
Ooh.
Bob? Look,
Well, we will all take a look at these. We can't eat these, unfortunately,
You
today.
speak
Why
for
not?
yourself.
I'm not going, and even if I was, I'd still eat them.
I love it.
I am
I
going.
love it.
Gosh,
I'm just-
I'm
myself.
not ashamed of my fatness.
No, yeah, these people can,
$3.
you know,
Mm.
$3.
Make their-
Appetizers
jokes.
are Tuesday.
I'm gonna eat these.
Cheese.
Cheesy bacon wedges.
Wedges.
Oh yeah.
We're taking the potato to a whole new level.
Oh,
Cheese,
the whiz.
Dairy.
I think
add
the
some
Roosters wedges
swine in there.
is the ideal delivery device for the.
It
cheese
is.
and
I
bacon.
liked it because
They're really good.
they're crispy on the outside. They're
Mhm.
soft on
A
the
little
inside.
flavor, a
And
little
they have
seasoning
the
on it. Yeah, the
seasoning is
seasoning
what
on the.
gets it.
I was just gonna.
I can
might
tell
be
how
familiar
hungry you
with the
three are, way
seasoning
you're
that was on the
describing it.
chips.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
it's on the wedges now, the seasoning. So it's perfect.
Oh, so they took the seasoning from.
No,
the chips.
it's always been the same.
Oh,
but, you know,
okay.
I just thought I'd try to lighten
It always comes back to the
it.
chips.
The chips. It does. One day, guys.
One day.
Okay. Anything else going on for Roosters, Nicole?
No, I'll miss you guys next week. You have the
You'll miss
appetizer
me.
list,
I'll
so
see
you
you
know.
even more.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll send photos.
We'll miss you
video.
guys. How about that?
Yeah.
No, you guys don't have to do that.
I know we're gonna
That would
miss you
just
guys
be
there.
too much. Just put your phones away and don't rub it in that you're going to be
Yeah.
out there having such a good time. We'll do our best without you.
We'll hold it down.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys,
I
for
know
holding
you
the
will.
fort down.
All right. Well,
Mhm.
enjoy your
Appreciate it.
trip, Nicole. And we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with a lot more from Roosters in the Horseshoe Lounge. It's a fun, casual joint.
Roosters has been so fortunate. We just want to be able to give some of that back to the community.
They donate to organizations that are near and dear to their heart, and we're so fortunate to have been with Roosters now for a long time.
They always go above and beyond to help support our foundation to further help veterans.
It's just a wonderful feeling to know that Roosters supports the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer.
All the folks at Roosters are just genuinely kind folks, and they want to make a difference.
Thank you, Roosters Foundation.
All right. Welcome back into the Horseshoe Lounge. Berm has arrived.
Hey,
Berm,
I've been here the whole time.
I know you. Don't give away all of our secrets.
Yeah, jeez.
If you could add to Ohio State's schedule with a road trip, which we know Washington is being replaced with a home game, where would you still like to go? Who do you want to see on the schedule?
Did you know I used to live in Phoenix, Arizona?
No.
You did?
What was that?
A while ago. I would love to take a trip out there
To go play on that
To go-
crappy field?
Yeah, I think.
Gosh.
Could they play at Sun Devil instead?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Play at
Ooh,
Sun Devil.
that would
not
be
at,
cool.
Not in Glendale. I mean, go play at actual Sun Devil Stadium.
8 o'clock kick.
8 o'clock against Arizona State on a September 17th would be beautiful. That's certainly one that I think would be an awesome trip. Just because, number one, it's very rare that you'd have a home game 2,500 miles away, but that'd be a pretty close one for
Yeah.
Ohio State.
That'd be an embarrassing turn of events for the Sun Devils.
I mean, remember when Ohio State played at Cal in 2013
Yes.
and there was
Kenny
Ocho
Guyton.
going around the stadium when Guyton threw for 6 touchdowns in the first half? Like, it'd be that sort of crowd. pretty
Oh,
much.
absolutely.
Which is awesome. You know, it's a good brand building experiment for Ohio State.
They do pretty well recruiting in Phoenix too.
They like the area. It's beautiful. What else I'd like to see? I do think the Tennessee game would be a fun one to watch. I think that's a home and home that should happen.
It's so close.
It's too close. The programs are both very proud. They haven't played, as you guys said, I think since the 1996 Citrus Bowl
Yeah.
or something. It's time to You break out the cleats, the long cleats, Tennessee, you cheating bastards.
3/4.
And play it again. You know what I mean? Just to
Run it back.
Get that cleat gate out of our heads. You forget about that?
He just hates Tennessee so much. He
I
just
know-
doesn't want it to happen.
I'm trying not to disagree with the three of you because they're two of the proudest programs in college football history, two of the largest cathedrals in college football history. It would be dripping with intrigue. But I am concerned about the toxicity of putting those two fan bases together in the same place.
Get the stick.
I heard the
and run it up
Tennessee
and down
fans
there.
were good.
No, they're not.
They're not?
No.
Listen,
Have
I
you
was
ever
misled.
seen a flying mustard bottle, Jay-Z?
No, I haven't.
Well, let me tell you where you will.
it's good.
Neyland Stadium.
Is that right?
Saturday, primetime kickoff.
Was it a plastic mustard bottle or?
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
they
okay,
fill
so
it
that's
with-
not that bad.
They fill it with things that aren't mustard.
But they're still yellow.
Perhaps.
Well, that happens at Penn State.
Yeah,
Lane-
That's why our band
Lane
doesn't go there
Kiffin,
anymore.
After having coached there, nearly gets pegged in the head
Oh,
with a golf ball.
he got caught. He was like getting interviewed, and someone threw somebody. He caught it. It was remarkable.
Got to keep your head on a swivel.
Was that the moment that Lane Kiffin's reputation changed entirely? Because that was a moment.
He was a sympathetic figure after that. I watched the guy on TV
Way to go,
getting hit with a golf
Way to go,
ball.
Vols. You made Lane Kiffin likable.
Well, because it's like I think anybody will sympathize if I'm sitting here with you and some random throws a projectile at me. Like, man, that's kind of wrong. Like the dude's doing
My own fans threw something
This
at me.
guy's the victim. He didn't throw it.
But it's like Knoxville's a pretty cool town.
It is.
It's drivable.
Great
Like
town.
it'd be. Like you have the if it's a
You
night
got
game.
the river there.
Yeah.
the roads,
Yeah,
I
right
mean,
on the water.
You could wake up early. You could drive in Friday night if you really want to get after it. You could wake up Saturday at 7, drive in. You're there by noon, tailgate all day. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. By that time Krenzel will probably be down there.
Yeah,
with his
son will be down
son
there.
playing
If he,
baseball.
doesn't make it to the show right away.
Make it happen.
I loved my time living in Knoxville. I loved getting to work at Neyland Stadium, just like I love covering games in the Horseshoe. Those things are really great.
Which stadium is better?
The Horseshoe is better.
Yeah?
than Neyland. They did do a lot of renovations. To the
I do
outside.
like the parquet end zones. Are
Yeah,
cool.
those look nice. They're great. They
Red.
upgraded a lot. It used to more like resemble Penn State with the exterior
Okay.
issues. They put out some brick, facade around the outside.
Mhm.
Makes it look
Brickscaping.
really nice. Yeah, brickscaping. I think. Yeah, that's the professional term. I'll defer to you on that, Bobby. But they made it look great. They put their money in and they nailed their renovation. The press box is wonderful. I think.
How's the food?
Horseshoe is. They do a much better job
Ooh.
with their food in the press box.
Okay.
Ohio State has taken a serious
Nosedive.
bet.
Really?
Really?
Couple
We're
steps
Is that
downshift.
right?
Downshift.
They don't have the McFlurries anymore?
No. Those are long gone.
Really?
The last
Flurries gone.
Yeah.
City
Wow.
barbecue gone.
COVID year they're like, you know what? We don't need food.
We don't need to feed
No,
these
they
guys.
had already decided before that they were going to scale it back.
Whew.
Not great.
Yeah, the McFlurry thing
Don't get
probably
me
better
started.
for me in the long
They still
run.
have to bring down waters from the press box to the photography workroom underneath the stadium because we can't put a cooler down there or a bucket full of ice and water. So
I come down.
They have to pregame because they're not allowed during the game. Have to bring down 6 bottles of water from the.
You drink 6 bottles of water?
People wonder
Think how
what
hot it is on that
Well, I
field.
know, but
It's pretty.
where do you pee?
In the
You
porta
don't. You
potty.
just internalize it because your body sweats it all out.
You get in line behind Brutus and the cheerleaders, and you
There's
wait.
a
Is that what it-
restroom on.
Oh, is it in the south stands? Is there
Yeah,
a little?
that's secret. There's a little secret one down there.
Yeah, no, we have a porta potty down there. One
No, it's better than nothing.
for
Okay?
all the cheerleaders, Brutus, all the media, all the. It's not ideal.
we get
How
a
does
lot
Brutus fit his head in a porta john?
Oh, they take it off his head.
Do they make everybody get out
of
so
Burn,
you
the
can't see who
children
it is?
watching.
What?
He takes his
Do they
head
make
off.
everybody leave so they can't see who?
No, I don't think anyone down there really cares who Brutus is.
He has his own private dressing room.
That's true. He does have a
But there's a porta potty for everybody to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
I've used that porta potty.
I bet.
it's
And then they bring down the food for the cheerleaders, right? And so at halftime, we're sitting there, so everyone's scrambling, trying to get photos to send out at halftime, whatever you can get done. And then the cheerleaders eat, and then there's 2 minutes until the game kicks back off in the second half, and then one random cheerleader, the lead cheerleader, yells, "You guys have 5 minutes to eat!" And then there's 2 or 3 people in the media who constantly sprint to the table to take whatever scraps are left. It's not
Wild dogs down there.
wait. I've not heard this story.
yeah, it's not. It's never
What?
like any of the main meal, right? It's just whatever's been picked through and just left. So you'll find
one bag of chips.
You'll find
The hyenas come in
it's
after
always like a
half-eaten bag of chips.
It's always like some ziti that's left over,
half a banana,
and like a a tortilla with a couple slices of shredded chicken from the fajitas they had, and it's always the same 2 or 3 people from the photography contingent that like sprint there to make sure they get it.
Are you one of them?
I am not.
See, I always felt bad for you.
You should feel bad.
I thought they catered stuff for you down there.
After a game, he's always so.
It's the worst in the Big Ten as far as
he's so hungry. He's so
photographer.
exhausted.
He's just so tired.
But I didn't know that he had an option to go scavenge your food.
Yeah, I could have got a shred of lettuce or maybe.
It's not, you got to get to that table first.
No, it's as far as the Big Ten goes, as far as like taking care of the not important media, like
or even important media,
like or anyone in it.
It's probably the worst in the conference.
So Tennessee considers itself to be an innovator in that field, where the general, long before this one, General Nealon, said, well, these fine folks that cover our program are going to be here all day. It's a full 8 to 10 hours. Let's put some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches out there. Make sure that they've got some food up there in the press box. So Tennessee prides itself
on PB&J,
on multiple spreads, pregame and halftime. Ice cream refrigerator freezer there in the corner. Multiple snacks hanging in the back. They don't want to fall behind in that regard. And to that I say, kudos to you, Tennessee.
I mean, especially when you're putting the product out there for the last 20 years they had.
Well, that was
the better move.
Keep them fat and happy up in the press box, so they'll be nice to us.
Yeah, please come cover our game.
Yeah.
Tennessee stumbled against Alabama 42-10.
Louisville, I think,
stumbled. Close game until the fourth.
Tennessee battled tooth and nail before losing at home to Wyoming.
Yeah.
Louisville, as far as like the basketball program, I think they give you like shots or some bourbon after the game or beers.
Beer, yeah.
That sounds awesome.
How's the basketball Buckeye?
I mean,
you're there.
You get a voucher for $10.
You have to go up in the concourse.
You have to go up to one of the concession stands and stand in line.
And it doesn't work for beer. So that's about the only.
You get a $10.
That's the only way you can watch one.
You get a $10 voucher, and you have to choose between.
Can you sell the voucher for like $9
between a $7 hot dog and?
It's not ideal.
If you buy me a beer, I'll give you this voucher to buy some food with.
I mean. The beer prices, at least in the
I didn't know it was as bad.
Aren't as bad as it nationwide, so at least it's
at least there's that.
It's a decent place to go hang out, but not really to watch any basketball because oh my god,
they had a walk-on score on them, multiple points the other night.
Things have gotten bad. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah,
the basketball team is not worth discussing.
Yeah, so Berm wants Tennessee. I guess I'd have to say. Let's do.
It would be pretty
Tennessee
sweet.
makes sense from so many reasons.
North Carolina could be a good one.
I would love to go to Boston College. Honestly, if we're talking about from my selfish perspective, I've never been to really Boston. I'd like to go to
BC would be good.
BC and do a little home and home there.
Well, historically,
North Carolina would love to go to North Carolina.
UNC, he mentioned
UNC,
that would be elite. I'm not opposed to and it's been 20 years since they played 25 since they played West Virginia. West Virginia is an awesome experience. It's close. Yeah.
That'd be
Since top-ranked Buckeyes. Mark Bulger and the Mountaineers.
Yeah,
beat down City.
It was bad. Famous Amos, not so famous after that game.
There was a lot of folks in Morgantown expecting to be burning couches.
A lot of couches weren't burned.
They got burnt down.
So they were burning Jays.
They were beaten down by that Ohio State team.
But that's like another proximity. It's a cool stadium. Yeah. It's close. If they're decent, there's usually 8-4, 9-3. Like it's a formidable opponent. I mean, I think you could even play them and then play another Power 5, like more elite school.
Well, isn't that what we're all talking about?
Yeah, just multiple games.
Just playing better games. And if everyone assumes that the best case scenario for college football is cutting the top level in half and just having 60 teams and the super conferences, like we shouldn't be getting rid of games like Ohio State and Washington. Yes, there is a physical toll, mental toll, financial toll that makes it challenging, but at some point it's entirely possible that Washington and Oregon are in the Big Ten already. And guess who's going to always have to play those primetime marquee games? Ohio State, Penn State are going to have to go west. So as long as
go west, another elite
young man,
another elite band.
Yeah,
yep,
not bad.
It's one of my favorites.
They're no Nelson, but
King of wishful thinking.
Exactly. There you go. I was waiting for Berm to hit it up there.
He wanted to sing it.
Yeah, well, It's not that type of party.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet, anyway.
We're not on the cruise this year.
We're moving towards the situation of not being penalized like college football teams always have in an NFL model. So why not embrace that part? Like, play 12 good games.
I think you'll see that as people figure out exactly what the leeway is going to be. I mean, I think Ohio State is looking ahead to 24, 25. You don't want to enter that first year of the expanded playoff and think, okay, can you lose 3 games and still get in? Can
I
you
don't
lose
want to
2?
play that game.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think that they're trying to just figure out first
See how it goes.
before you really
Better safe than sorry.
load up the schedule on the back end of it, and once you see what happens. Because
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off.
I mean, that schedule, we talked about it. I mean, you got Texas, you got Washington. That's a tough, and then you have the Big Ten with the addition of USC and UCLA. Like, that's going to be a difficult haul, you know, and you got to win 10,
Still got the
10 or 11 games still to get in, because there's going to be other teams that are doing that.
Still got Rutgers in there going max block, late in the game. Maryland, with Loxley, and now Kevin Sumlin. Can't wait to see what the addition of him he's going to bring. He's one of my favorite coaches.
Kevin Sumlin?
My man always has some beads of sweat on his forehead. Not as
many as Loxley.
What he's sweating out, I mean, that
Who knows?
who knows?
Yeah.
Likes to party. Good, fun dude.
It's not water, huh?
How is this the solution for Mike Loxley? Like, explain to me how he's allowed to do this.
That's a great solution.
And why this was the one. Like, the offense really wasn't the problem. And then Kevin Sumlin is coming in to
Fix it.
fix it.
Fix
Mr.
the
Fix it.
non-issue.
Like, I watched Tua Tito do a pretty good number on the Silver Bullets last November.
Yeah.
Much more than I expected from a Mike Loxley outfit. And then Wonderkind Kevin Sumlin is coming in to soak it up. Like,
Hey, what he did with Kyler Murray was – wait a second. What he did with
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny.
Johnny Manziel, right? He won a Heisman Trophy. There
He
you go.
did.
Now it's time for Tua Tito.
Is he coming back?
Talia.
He is.
Oh, my God.
6th year.
Talia.
And we're singing now.
Now he's there.
I didn't
It is
realize.
that kind of party.
I didn't
Now it's
realize-
that kind of
I
party.
never knew how to properly pronounce his name until we were at Maryland last year and they
Really?
played that song, and then everyone in the crowd yelled his name as though it rhymes with tequila. I was like, oh, now I get it. I was always like Talia.
Oh.
Talia.
Talia.
Tua Tito.
Whatever.
is his name.
He was pretty good. I don't know. I mean, Kevin Sumlin, obviously, he's a good recruiter. He did a nice job at A&M in that respect. He's obviously needed a job.
He needed a job.
Hey, man, can you help me out?
I need a job. Can you?
Hey, it's good to have good coaches in the Big Ten.
Okay,
It
so
is. The fact they're spending money and bringing guys in,
I mean, yeah, it's
good coaches.
he is at least a recognizable
I think
figure.
the expiration date on that evaluation is long since passed.
Who knows?
Not here.
Give
to
him a
judge.
chance.
yes, you know.
I'm not here to judge.
What are we doing? On
I'm
this
just here
show
to
then?
say, in recruiting, it's all about brand recognition and name recognition. If you have to choose between Kevin Sumlin and some guy no one's ever heard of, you're going to bring in Kevin Sumlin because he's the coach who recruited Kyler Murray. He's the guy who got Johnny Manziel a Heisman. You're going to say, come on, man, you're our guy. You're not going to bring in some random no name. You're not going to
No,
promote
Jim Har-
Jared Parker.
Jim Harbaugh kind of does that. I mean,
Yeah, but Harbaugh is like Saban, and you know he's the guy, right? So he's your head coach. Anything else doesn't really matter.
I really enjoyed Marcus Freeman having to come out earlier on Monday and say, this has nothing to do with us not being able to pay Utah's buyout for Andy Ludwig. No, we wanted Jared Parker.
oh, that was bad.
Leave us alone.
That's tough.
Hey,
It was
did
bad.
you ever
That's
consider
such-
that
tough for-
maybe?
for a
Did you
new
consider
coach.
that maybe they invited Ludwig to that hockey game 2 weeks ago with Freeman and Parker, just so that
To put on the
Ludwig
video
could
board?
give Freeman his opinion of Jared Parker?
My problem is with Notre
I'm
Dame.
gonna bring you in on this.
Notre
one.
Dame has to decide. That's terrible.
You know.
Outside consult.
Yeah, what do you think about this guy?
They got to figure out what they want to be. Like I almost feel bad for Notre Dame fans now because I think that they care more than I don't want to say the administration. I don't know who's exactly in charge of it. I don't think it's Jack. What's his name?
Swarbrick.
I don't think Swarbrick. I think
Rick
is being,
Facade.
he's being
Swarbrick
told.
Facade.
Yeah, he's being told what to do. But the fact that Notre Dame, who has plenty of money, is choosing not to buy out a coach from Utah.
I think they're in like the $18 or $19 billion endowment, so they seem to
They
be doing
have
okay.
plenty. If they want to be able to hire a coach that says, hey, this guy's really good, all they've got to do is make about 3 or 4 phone calls, and that's happening.
But now we can.
But how do you not have an alumni step up and say, "Hey, if this is the issue, I will go and do this"?
I don't think that they're willing to do it. It's not the money. I just don't think that they want to.
As a university, they don't want
isn't going to ask.
They don't want somebody saying, "Hey, well, I gave you this money. Let me get this or this."
But not even that. It's
well,
just, I don't think
they're just trying to keep them separate.
I think they want to keep it the way that it always has been, and that's
good luck.
A lot about how Ohio State was for a long time. Like we don't need to pay our coaches because we're just able to get guys to come here. This
times they are changing.
Well, so Tommy Reese, who played there, coached there, ultimately left.
7 years.
Yeah,
7 years building towards being the guy there, and a lifer has to leave to go to Alabama, where I'm sure he's just thrilled to be.
Well, you say a lifer. I mean, 7 years in,
when he played there,
wanting to be the guy there.
Well, I do.
And all of a sudden, he's not the guy there. He's not gonna be the guy there.
Here's the thing: he would have been able to leave. From my knowledge of the situation, he was able to leave with Brian Kelly. And
fair.
If he didn't get the job and he was that salty about staying, then he could have.
Well, nobody was leaving with Brian Kelly though. I mean, you're saying he's going to go with him down to LSU?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying like I don't think he didn't take anybody with him. Nobody wanted to follow him down there.
Okay, nobody wanted that. Doesn't mean there weren't opportunities.
Well, fair.
That's like saying,
but
just because you didn't.
I mean, having Nick Saban recruit you and Brian Kelly.
Listen,
it's got to be a little bit different.
Who won the SEC West this year?
Yeah, fair.
I mean,
they did beat them.
We can say whatever we want. So I guarantee you, LSU would have paid them more or less whatever they wanted.
Yeah, 100%. You'd have gotten a bunch of money.
You're going to get players down there. Like you're working with the same guy. It's a known quantity. It's like you're going to get there. Like, man, Brian Kelly. He can be
all of a sudden he changed. Well, he did change a little bit. That dance move.
They have better offensive players at LSU right now than they do at Alabama.
Yeah, well, they definitely do the Notre Dame. So that's my point. Is if he was going to go. I wanted to go to Nick. He had the opportunity before, and he chose to stay, and then realized, like, you know what, we were pretty good. We had some quarterback issues. I thought he did a pretty good job last year, given the fact that they had like their 8th quarterback playing in the game, and they were pretty competitive for the most part. And like, hey, these other people are offering me this. I don't need to be there, but can we at least? We don't need the home run, but can I at least get to like second base, maybe? Nope,
yeah, but a part of that had to have been
shirts zipped up.
We're going to see what happens with the head coaching job at Notre Dame, right? I mean, Brian Kelly saying, "Hey, I want you to come with me." Well, hold on, I put my time in here. I'm going to see what happens.
Yeah, but
and then they bring in Marcus Freeman, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm stuck now.
I think even after that, he could have probably won still.
Fair enough.
They would have probably paid him more to be the quarterbacks coach at LSU than he would have
been OC.
Well, the most bizarre part about it is that when we thought that the Ludwig deal was going to be done, Bill Berman and I talked about it last week. It's like, I'm pretty sure that this worked out better for Notre Dame. This is an upgrade over Tommy Reese. Yeah. You say he did a decent job given the limitations last year. That's probably fair.
Well, I think he does a great job.
But that guy seems to get way more out of whatever personnel he's got. We've seen the innovation at Utah. He's a hell of a coach. Like, Notre Dame really lucked out on this one. And then they're like,
nope.
Nah. Forget about that. This Jared Parker guy, he washed out at Purdue. Let's bring him in here. Let's let him try it behind the wheel of this fast-paced Notre Dame machine.
He lives up to the golden standard, and that's what matters. The standard is the standard.
It is the standard.
Cole left, so we can say that again. That's good.
You can bring it back. All right. You guys are going on the boat.
I'll be here Monday.
This Monday?
Yeah, I only get to go.
I
only get to go half.
Bob's going for the full.
The big dogs, they get the 7 days.
Okay. All right.
I fly in.
So we'll still have Jay-Z next.
I'm hoping there's a room available for me once I get there.
If you would have went the first half, you could have stayed the second half with me.
Where do you have to
It's court sleeping.
That would have been
fly in?
awesome.
Do you have to fly like a helicopter?
St. Lucia.
Oh, you're going to St. Lucia.
This is where I'm flying.
Exactly. Oh, terrible.
It'd be kind of cool just to have them helicopter you onto the boat and just shimmy down a rope.
That's what they did.
That would be
right?
cool.
Because he only wanted to be there for a night. He's gone.
One of the great things when we got stuck at sea and Urban was there. And we were like getting around in the fog, and he wanted to leave in the worst way. And I get it; he wants to get back for his team. But it's like, can we get a helicopter? And I'm like, they won't let us take the boat in the port. I've seen enough movies to know how that thing ends
poorly.
And just,
you know what, Urban? Yeah, go ahead, call one up. Get them come out here.
Props spinning off and cutting people's heads off. I've watched enough of that. There's no way. I'm like, you can't see 10 feet in front of you. Like radar. I mean, it's like, we have radar. I'm like, what?
Good luck.
We're done. We're done with that.
All right. So Bob is about to go back on the boat, and we're going to miss him for the next couple of weeks. But then spring ball will start. Yeah. We'll have actual Ohio State football to talk about. And Maybe the show will be better for it. I don't know.
We got a quarterback competition, baby. Let's
I
go.
will say this: Cade Stover does a pretty good job of smoking meats in the most awesome way possible. Got this
We've
nice
tried-
little elite rub.
We've
smoked
tried-
the pork butt.
We
Built a
not
smoker
offered.
with his dad.
He said that we could come out and do.
You don't want to go there. They don't even have they didn't have a TV on or music playing. What are you guys, sociopaths in here?
Wait,
I'm like,
they said it was a lot
playing-
more entertaining than that.
They're playing cards, TV off. I go, it was silent. Like, there's like probably 10 people there. Like, is there not any music or like just some ambient noise
They
to
just
make
have
it
a
less
conch
awkward?
shell to pass around when it's time to talk.
It was weird.
They're playing silent euchre.
Oh,
it
gosh.
It was. I'm telling you, there's a lot of guys. I'm like, this is the weirdest thing.
They're not going to know what to do on this boat.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
was so
he said
good.
that they even had beverages.
Those
Like,
are
it doesn't-
They did have beverages,
So-
but there was no music playing or TV on.
Come over to our cookout.
Lord of the Flies.
Sit down.
Lord of the Flies with Tommy.
I mean,
and
but
Kate.
Cade did get out his. I mean, Steele was playing, and Tommy and Cade were off the table at that point. And so Cade did get his night vision scope and go show my kids. They were looking across the street with it, and they were loving that. But that was like the entertainment for the day.
No,
Like, do you guys
music.
Speaker Cade's like, oh, I'm going to get my speaker. And I'm like, what are we doing? There's already people here. We should have prepared that before and been ready to go.
Nice ribs, though.
These young guys,
Oh,
you got to
the-
teach them up, Bob.
It was awesome. The pork, they put this rub on. It was so good. It was great. They're awesome dudes. They were so
And that-
gracious to my kids out. My son Caleb's out there getting sturdy.
We
with
need a
them.
full report on Kate and Tommy on a boat, however. For
Oh, it'll be beautiful. I can't wait.
a interesting time.
Yes.
Great conversationalists.
It will be awesome.
Well, Steele's going to be good at it. Cade will be better than Tommy. Emeka will go.
I want to know. You know what the great question is who's going to watch their dogs?
Berm.
He might be coming over there.
But yes.
Berm's got room for more dogs
Yeah.
up at his house.
My three are desperate for more.
It's good. They've got 3 pretty good sized ones. So
Yeah. 6, that's all you need up there, Berm. You'll be good to
one
go.
of them's a husky, which doesn't listen at all. So that's
I
good.
got
That's good.
Huge flight risk.
Yeah.
I got a husky. So
Huge shedder.
All right, so we'll be back next Monday. Jay-Z will be here. Bob
will.
will be back in a couple weeks, and we're going to get into spring ball, which is 2 weeks and 1 day away. We cannot wait for that so that we can talk about it on the podcast and in here at the Horseshoe Lounge at Roosters. It's a fun, casual joint. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Nicole. Thanks to Jay-Z. Thanks to Bob. Thanks to Berm. I'm Austin Ward. We will see you next week.